Hey, can everyone hear me? Perfect. I was just getting over a cold. Sorry about my voice. It'll be a little rough. We still have a few minutes, so we'll wait to get a few more people in here. Hey, Lord Ratner. He's been a big fan for a long time. So good to see you. Yeah, today we'll talk a little bit about the Thea. We'll answer any questions you may have and go over how the campaign's going. And yeah, we'll at the end of the the live session will be choosing two people to get a beta unit. They are two hardware generations behind, but they do have the thermal, the radar, um, temperature, CO2, and they're still really good. It's just we perfected it so much since then. So you still add it to Home Assistant, you'll still get data on there. It's just not the best, obviously. It's probably still a lot better than a lot of sensors you see out there. So yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes. 2 minutes, I think. Yep. And just look over something real quick. Texas. That's good. Texas is good. Iowa, Georgia. Awesome. Italy. Okay, I think we'll get started. If you have any questions, write them here on the right side, and we'll have our moderator look through it and kind of let me know what's going on. So first, I wanted to thank everyone for pledging, even if it's $1 or you bought 9 Thea devices. There's a guy out there who did, so we're extremely thankful. The campaign's going good. We've been going for 6 days now, and we're 34%, I believe, or 33% of the way there. I'm pretty sure we'll reach our goal. All the help we can get, really makes a difference. We got to send a manufacturer, and we need to send a lot of units. We can't just send a couple hundred here. So we definitely need to do a little bit better maybe on the Kickstarter side. We are going to B2B, going to businesses. There's a lot that are interested, and we're finalizing a few orders, so that'll help us a lot. And that's not going to show in the Kickstarter, but there is that going on as well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. I want to go over a little bit over the Thea and how it came to be and everything else. I would sit down, do homework with my son, and the lights would go off. I had a Aerotech uh, multi-sensor 6, I believe, or 5. I don't even remember, and it was really annoying. So I started looking into radar. I believe I got the FP1 back then, and it wasn't great either. The plants would send it off when the AC would turn on, and just nothing really worked. My wife wasn't a great fan of things just turning on and off all day in the house either. So, the team and I got together, and we're like, this could be something really cool. A sensor that works, 99.9% of the time. And how would we do this? Oh, we could use thermal, we could use radar, we could use infrared, Bluetooth beacon, ESP presence. I don't remember if it was ESP presence or it was something that started with a room. But yeah, we decided that we would just throw everything at the problem and make the best sensor in the world for presence detection. So we worked really hard on this, a lot of love. We also thought a lot about tracking people with disabilities and elder care. So we really did put a lot of thought into the product. I want to show you real quick. It's kind of funny. I'm kind of tired of saying I'll show you real quick. It's something I've been saying a lot in the videos. So yes, this is the first version we did. This is the top board. So I want to show you something. This is the I gotta flip this, but oh well. This is the STM32, and our thermal. You can see it's squared. This had a lower FOV than what we're using now. Your infrared, we actually changed this as well, um, and your radar. So this was our first board. This is the bottom of that board. Pretty pretty empty, huh? Well, we learned a lot and we started developing, as you can see. This is our second iteration. I just want to compare real quick these boards. I mean, it is incredible the difference. So, yep, in the top we're using the greater FOV on the thermal. We move stuff around because there was some interference and stuff like that. I want to show you the third iteration. So in the third iteration, we moved the what am I? Here we go. I'm confused. I gotta stop watching myself. We use the temperature down here, and we also move stuff around for heat dissipation. And on this board, we moved a lot of stuff around. We added the infrared and the siren, and we have a fourth iteration where we actually made this bridge smaller so it dissipates heat more. And we used to have a sensor on the back and the front. And now we have two bridges on each board. There's pictures on the Reddit, and we've been able to get the heat. I mean, it is unnoticeable basically. It's incredible. And so that's really what it is. We've done four iterations in 3 years. We've really worked on this. It's not like, oh, we're just gonna make this thing, we'll make two iterations and that's it. In the case, we added ventilation to the back. We added we added tunnels for the temperature and everything else. This is a very refined product. It's not just slapping things together and selling it. The material of the case, everything, has a reason and has been worked out. Let me read a little here comments. Sorry about the coughing again. uh, okay, cool. Yep. All right. Awesome. So yeah, and the business case is mostly home automation, but we're also thinking about elderly care in the home automation side. We've approached some developers, and the thing is, a lot of them want their own system. They want to continue having a revenue stream from the smart home that they're building for you, and that kind of goes against our philosophy. We want everything to be able to be run locally and easily without having to pay a subscription. So it's tough for us to go with a developer. We're in talks with a few of them that are okay with not having that model. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of possibility there that it'll go good because you're detecting fires, you're doing all these things. Everything is subscription based now. I'm surprised I don't have to rent my cat at this point. Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice though. You could always return your cat, I guess, if you don't like them. I like my pets though. I have a dog and some birds, but it's true. Everything is subscription based, and it's annoying. For our business partners, the subscription model works. It's easier for them, and they'll go for that. For elderly care, I mean, there's no way around it. We'd be using AI and all this stuff. So, but for home automation to turn on your lights, the one that gets me the most is the MyQ for the garage. That is wow. That is special. the the subscription is very expensive. It's just to open and close your garage. Should be simple, but it really isn't. Yeah, there's solutions out there with Home Assistant and others. Support for Home Assistant. How is that going to be supported and connected? Okay, great question. Um, yeah, absolutely. So for Home Assistant right now, we have it connects via MQTT, and we have an integration through Hacks. We have the repository and everything. If you look up in GitHub Senziio, you'll find it right there. Um, that is the one that is live. We're also working on adding more functionality. For example, hotspot zones and more stuff. I don't believe that one's on GitHub yet. I can ask the team though, just to make sure. But it doesn't matter. I mean, all the basic stuff is there. So right now, that's how the integration is with Home Assistant. It'll continue to be that way for a while. We did submit to have it put into the core of Home Assistant, and they told us, listen, you don't have any sales. Like the product isn't in people's hands. So no, once people have it in their hands, you can give us some numbers and we'll see if this is something that we can do. And we're willing to do it. I mean, absolutely. So that is the future. But right now, it's just through MQTT and a Hacks integration. Yep. Yes, the idea is to have full Smart Things support. If I'm not mistaken, it's a I'm the CEO, okay? So you just got to make sure I'm not talking things that I don't know about, but there's a bridge driver that needs to be developed that's being worked by our team. It takes time. They're still in the exploratory phase of that, but by launch, it should work with Smart Things full support. Zigbee already has some basic information like temperature, humidity, I think presence, and that's about it. That already works with Smart Things. But if you don't have that bridge driver, the rest of the information is just lost. You don't get to use it. And it makes no sense. So we are working on that. We're investigating it, and the idea is to have full Smart Things support. So yes, that's in the top three that we need to support, which is Home Assistant number one, Alexa number two. Let me mute her because she's going to drive me insane. Google Home and Smart Things. Those are the main ones that we are definitely going to have on day one. Apple HomeKit, we're working really hard on too, but it's pretty complicated. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's the plan for sure. Let me see. What else do we have? What kind of post-sale support can we expect? Firmware updates, etc. Absolutely. So firmware support will be at least 2 years minimum. I think we'll go way longer than that though. And if we ever stop doing firmware support, we'll make it open source. honestly, we have no interest in not supporting the firmware. There's so much to do and so many use cases. We sent out 10 beta units, and I don't remember if it was Lord Ratner. He was in our beta program. Um, about 7 months, 8 months ago. He could probably pitch in here and let you guys know. But he discovered that, why can't we do max temp and minimum temps in the hotspot detection? So I want to know when something's cold. It might have been Lord Ratner, might have not. There's two in that group of beta testers that got in at the same time. So if I'm wrong there, don't get mad, Lord Ratner. That wasn't your advice, but I think it was. It was, yes. So we implemented that immediately. I think within 2 months or so, it was in there. And so I know there's going to be a million different use cases, and for our team, it's not difficult to continue to support it. And we're continuing R&D in other products that we're working on. Um, can't really say much there, but it's interesting stuff. So the team's there, and just providing updates is not that hard or time consuming. We'll probably end up leaving one or two guys just on that, and then the rest on other projects, and bring them in and out. That's another thing I'd like to talk about. We've sent over, say, 15 to 20 beta units. And Lord Ratner actually got one of the newer ones, but it was damaged, the board. But we yeah, the possibilities are limitless. So that's true. Um, and it is, and that's why we're working on a electric car monitoring. So you can monitor the electric charger and the vehicle if it ever overheats. It's funny, my sister a couple of months ago, her 220 outlet caught fire. I mean, amazing. So these are features, and this came from our hardware director in Barcelona in Spain. He's been saying this for a long time, and we're implementing it, which is a car monitoring mode where it detects. It doesn't even detect if it's hot or cold. It detects the gradient, the gradient difference with the surrounding. So if you're in a really hot environment, it'll still, it'll run hotter, but it'll detect that gradient difference. And if it's out of the normal, it'll alert you. And so there's so many possibilities, and yeah, definitely. There's just so much you can do, and we're always thinking of more things we can do on the firmware side. This won't end for a long time. We want to make it as easy as possible. And going back to that, another thing we want to do is provide a ESP home template. We don't care. You should have total control of the device. So if we make it easy for you to use ESP home, then great. The cloud, like I said, is really for that elder care monitoring, or users that don't have a hub, and they just want to use it as an alarm, as a standalone device, or something of that nature. They could definitely do that as well. But I think most users, will have at least an Alexa or something, right? So it's more for the business side and the management of multiple devices. For example, a hotel. Um, we might or might not have some hotels in line here, but they'd be able to manage, 1,000 devices through our cloud. And for them, $1,000 a month is whatever. We get to manage everything, and we store the data. One of the use cases in the hotel side of things is the badges. They're going to use Bluetooth beacon badges, so they'll be able to track how long it takes to be in each room for the cleaning crew, and they'll be able to see the guests. So on the profile of the guest, they'll be able to say, "Oh, this guest, you know, needs more time for cleaning." So when he comes, they can prepare the schedule, and so it has to do with scheduling and everything else. There's just so much data we're providing that is great. So let's see if we have any more questions. I love questions. So it could be anything. We're open to every. Oh, how does it? Oh, here's a good one. How does Thea handle false positives in presence detection, especially with pets? Great question. This is a great question. And I have a dog. Where's this little guy? Well, I don't know where he went. I thought he was here with me. But anyways, it's a great question. Um, I see the cloud question. I'll go back to that, but let me just finish this. So pets with radar, I mean, it goes off. I have an Akara FP2, believe it or not. I actually like the Akara FP2. So maybe our product isn't for you. Maybe you should get an Akara FP2. I'll be honest. For some places, it works excellent. For example, in the laundry room, I have one, and I also have one in one of the hallways. It actually works pretty good. But my dog does activate it, though their latest firmware kind of fixed it. It only goes off sometimes. So another way you could do it is with Bluetooth beacon. You put a tile. I have a tile on mine. That's why I wanted. I don't know where this guy went, but he has a tile, and so it detects that it's him, and it doesn't turn on the lights, right? So that's another a way that we can mitigate the pet problem on false positives. Also, the thermal image is a lot smaller on most dogs. I say if you got a husky, good luck. There's nothing's gonna work. But if you do have that Bluetooth beacon, it will help a lot. So yeah, absolutely. We get it down, and there's another use case. My dog sits on the sofa zone, right? And he has his tile on, which he always does. Alexa will tell him, "Get off the sofa." He doesn't care though. He still stays there. But I'm sure you can figure out an automation that would scare him away. Let me go to the. Let me see here real quick. Oh, here we go. What data goes to the cloud? Great question. So you don't need an account, and you don't need to use the app. You can set up everything from the local device. We do have updates. So if you want, you can block the device from communicating on the cloud. I'll get. We're gonna have a button. That's what we talked about. Where zero communication to cloud. But if you don't hit that button, we want to provide updates to the device, firmware updates, especially right when it comes out. So those updates would be provided via a cloud service. I believe it collects IP, which gives you somewhat of location data, but not like exact. Device serial number. Um, Trying to think. I'm trying to remember everything. I don't want to leave anything out. That's a great question, an important one. Um, I think that's it. I believe last update. So the date of the last update was another thing that it transmits. I think that's it. Current version. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much it. It doesn't really transmit any data from the sensors or anything like that, unless you have the cloud activated, and you have an account with us. In that case, it actually does log all the data. So, for example, your temperature, presence detection, Bluetooth beacon. I mean, everything. Everything gets logged on the cloud. We do use secure servers provided by AWS. So yeah, and I mean, to each their own. Some people don't want that, and that's fine. Others would rather pay for that service and have it on the cloud. And to each their own. Really, we don't sell the data, so we're not in the business model of selling data. It's not a big deal for us to collect it because we don't do anything with it. So yeah, great question. Let me read a little more. There's some stuff from before. Okay, perfect. Yeah. To start it and connect it, great question. So you have a lot of options. We have too many options, actually. We need to simplify a little. Right now, and I think it will be about the same, just a little more streamlined. You can just plug it into power. Once it's on power, I wonder if I can. No, I'm not gonna do that. All right. So you plug it into the power with a USB-C cable or over power over Ethernet. If you go the USB-C route, you just type in. You don't type in anything. You connect to the Wi-Fi. It has its own access point. Connect to it, and you go to the IP. Right now we have it set to 192.168.4.1, or you can go to Senziio.local. And from there, you go to settings, the bottom left. Then there's an icon it's like the little Wi-Fi icon. You pick. I think it's called network. You hit that, and to the right, you have your network settings for Wi-Fi. Let me see if I can pull it up so I can show you. There's nothing better than actually doing it right, so you can see. So that would be one way. Then on the Home Assistant side. Right now, how we have it. If you have hacks, it's very easy. It automatically detects it once it's on your network. You hit Add Device. That's it. You're done. It adds all the entities, everything. So if you want it on Home Assistant, that's how simple it is. If you're doing Zigbee, it has a reset button in the bottom. You just hit the button. Supposedly like 1 second, but it's actually like three. So hit it for 3 seconds and it will go into pairing mode. Use whatever Zigbee hub. And again, it's just the basics now, but yeah, it's easy. I mean, it's easy. And without an account, it's a little more complicated. So, if you want to use the app, it's super easy. It connects via Bluetooth. So you don't have to disconnect from your Wi-Fi. And that brings a lot of problems for some users. So you just hit Bluetooth connection. It automatically connects to it. You're asked to allow, you hit allow, connects to it, and then you go through the setup. It asks you for your Wi-Fi information, blah blah, blah, and you're done. So yeah, it's super easy. Are there any functions that cannot operate without the cloud connection? Um, yes and no. So none of the functions advertised about the sensors, the algorithm for deciding if there is or isn't presence, the Bluetooth beacon, temperature, humidity, none of that is restricted. Hotspot detection, none of it, none of it. The only thing is, if you're doing elderly care monitoring, for example, I guess you can get on the device and look at it, but um, our cloud service, what it does is it runs logs of the device. You pay for this. This is why you would pay, for example, for Mycelial Cloud. Um, and it runs it through AI and it creates a routine. So this person's in bed all night and then they wake up by 9 and it's 10 in the morning. Oh, there's something out of the normal here. So let's send a notification, right? So the service is paid. There are fees, that we have to pay for this service as well to AI providers and whatnot. So that you would not get. You would still be able to look at it and see, oh, grandma's still in bed, but you wouldn't get that AI function. Um, Alarm. So we can you can create a routine locally without using Home Assistant, without using anything. You would just use the cloud. You can create a routine where if devices detect something with geolocation, it'll arm, disarm, the siren will go off, the lights will blink. That won't be available, but you can do that in Home Assistant or Alexa. You could set up a routine to do that, of course, and you can still control the lights, the siren, everything. But again, some users just want to buy the device. They don't mind paying the cloud. I just need an alarm. I'll pay $60 a year or whatever, and I'll just set it up, and that's it. And we provide that service, and we log it. We're providing storage on the server side and everything else for that too. But nothing. You can still control the lights from Home Assistant. You can control the siren. You can do whatever you want. Yep. Okay, so Is the millimeter radar configurable in terms of range, sensitivity, and zones? Great question. Right now, we don't have zones working. We just got to add it. It's just a missing thing. We do in the back end, but not in the front end. You can't draw the little box. We do have it for hotspot. It's just a little oversight from the team. They're working on it. I don't know if the newest version has it or not. I think we're on version 52. So it might already have it where the user can do it without going to a different link that we have. It's a mess. Sensitivity, absolutely. So basically, how it works, we used to have the graph. Lord Ratner here could probably tell you. Um, the graph would show you the radar, and there was a red line, and so there was there's like three or four antennas that are detecting, and you could see the spikes, right? So that bar went from like 1 to 70, and you could move it, and the lower you move it, the sensitivity gets higher, right? You could also choose the strategy of 1, 2, 3 antennas detecting. So only with one is like hypersensitive, with two is like normal, and the other one's like, I don't know, you need an elephant walking in your house to detect. And then you have that bar, so you can control it two ways, right? So yeah, that's one way. Range, absolutely. You can control range. You can configure range. Also in Bluetooth beacon, you have a calibration for distance and the zones. Yeah, the zones. We're right now for zone tracking. We're using thermal only. We will be adding the radar data, and that'll make us the most precise device on the market by far. The thermal is excellent. It's just not good at depth perception. So if you put it on the ceiling, you'd be amazed how good the thermal is. It is better than the Akara FP2 by far. Um, but if you put it on a wall, it doesn't have that depth perception. And it was always the idea that we would add that radar data for that depth perception, and a little bit on the lateral too. So we'll do an average, and we'll average it out with the thermal. And let me tell you, we don't have it visualized or anything. We've done some tests, and it is very accurate. It's very intensive in the resource department. In the final version, we've actually added a lot of space to the ESPS3 because we needed it. That was an issue we were having when testing, that it would crash and we didn't have enough memory. So we that's the final version. I think we update by 10 times the amount of memory. We'll never have a problem again. Let me see. If I didn't answer one of your questions correct, not correctly, but to your satisfaction, let me know, and I can go more in depth. Are there any functions that cannot operate? Okay, yeah, we did that one. How do you reset it? Like if you end up with a new Wi-Fi network? Great question. So let's say you have a new Wi-Fi network. So easy. When I grab my device and I take it somewhere to show it for a demo, for example, with business customers, it is so easy. I don't do anything. I just take it, and when I go, the device automatically knows that it's not connected to anything, either Ethernet or Wi-Fi. So it'll automatically open up the AP so you can connect to it. So yeah, you literally don't have to do anything. You just disconnect the Wi-Fi, and it connects. There's a button we added for defaults, so you can default the entire device, and that's basically a factory reset. It erases all the files that are configurable by the user and just goes to default. We haven't done much except for the Zigbee on the reset button in the bottom. Let me see. Here, you can actually see the reset here. Where is it? Yeah, right here. So no, right. Man, this is hard to do. Right here. This is a reset button. So we are looking into different use cases for that reset button, especially for installers on the business side. They could do maybe 5 clicks and it'll put everything in medium sensitivity, do 6 clicks and everything's in high, stuff like that. And obviously, a hold for 10 seconds. There's a light too. The LED's right there. You can barely see it. Right there. That's the LED. And, the idea is you do like a code and you can factory reset the device as well. So, yeah, absolutely. We're probably going to start wrapping up and choose our users to get the beta with Zigbee 4 announced. Will it be able to be uh, updated? No, it will not. I'll be honest. I mean, I can lie to you and say something. No, it will not. It will not be upgradable to Zigbee 4. Yeah. Um, our antenna wouldn't, and everything. It wouldn't work. And I've already looked into it. We could upgrade to Threads using a Zigbee 3.0, but we cannot go to Zigbee 4. I will be honest with you. I've been hearing about Matter for forever, and it doesn't work that great. A lot of the data being sent is half of what should be there. It takes a long time to hit it out there. So yeah. Oh, I understand. Absolutely. I know. I have a Zigbee hell going on in my house right now. It is brutal. It is brutal. And yeah, no, I get it. Um, Manufacturing timeline. That's a great question. So, uh, we already procured a lot of the components that are key, the thermal, the radar, and we have them stockpiled. So, as soon as the Kickstarter ends and we finalize maybe one more of the business partners that we're working with, it's a big order, so we want to make sure that that we get them in that order, of course. Um, it'll be sent to manufacturing. We're using a huge factory. It's humongous. We don't have any problems. They do everything from the injection molding to the cardboard box. I mean, these guys are huge. They work with big brands. I can't really say much more, but they are big. We're not gonna have any problems. Our biggest problems could be FCC certification. We've already done the lab testing, so we should be good. It's not a big deal, and we're working towards that. Also, the European standard. I always forget what it's called. I wish Ignacio was here. He's the guy for this for the hardware stuff, you know. But no, we won't have any delays. Timeline is delivery starting in April, probably somewhere around there. Uh, you know, I think we can go earlier than that, and that's what we're pointing for. But it won't get delayed for sure, for sure. All right. Why don't we do the beta? So we'll choose 2 people to get a beta. And yeah, if you want to participate, just write something in the comments if you haven't already in the chat. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just be hi. You don't have to write anything else. It's that simple. And I will have our team pick 2 people. There we go. Perfect. Don't forget to write something. That's great. Perfect. Perfect. It will be random, so don't be offended if you don't get picked. If somebody I know gets picked, it wasn't because I know them. It is random. It is random. So it is what it is. Um, yep. Just go ahead and post, and we'll do it in um, let's do it in 4 minutes. You could write anything. It doesn't matter what. Hi, I'm ready for the beta, whatever works, and we'll pick it randomly. What else? Yeah, we do need your support. I want to be clear with this. We need your support. I know people have pledged; they've gone up on their pledge, and that helps us a lot. Don't get me wrong, but we do need more people getting involved. Any friends or ideas, businesses, even if they're small business orders, 3,000 to $5,000. That is huge. Our goal is 40,000. I believe we're in. I haven't checked it honestly this morning. I was super busy with setting up a Thea device in someone's home. We're going to be testing it. So yeah, I think we're at 13 something. I don't recall exactly. And yeah, is there a warranty? Yes, absolutely. There is a warranty, 1 to 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Let me ask that one to be exactly sure. Uh, right now, we're dealing with pretty small numbers, and the co-founders and the uh, software and hardware team will be personally, and I'll make sure of this, checking every single ticket that's opened, and we will resolve it ourselves. So you will get the best support you've ever had, for sure. And the warranty covers everything except damage, like you dropped it or you put it under water or something of the sort. You're pretty much covered. Any manufacturer defect, stuff like that. So yep, we factored that in our numbers and everything else. Do you need Micelio Cloud for phone alerts? So no, you need it if you want to. No, not just for alerts. Yeah, I mean you you need the app, the Micelio app. You don't need Micelio Cloud subscription, if that makes sense. So the alerts, you can set them up. They'll go to you, and nothing else required. I mean, you set them up from the app. It's pretty simple. So no, you don't need to pay. You would need the Micelio app. You could use Home Assistant as well, or Smart Things, or Alexa, and have it notify you as well. So that would be up to you. Oh, before we do this, I've been. Give me 1 second. I'm getting back on the warranty thing. I just need to check it. I don't want to, mess this up. Let me just write back. One second. 1 year warranty. Sorry about the confusion. We have a pack that you can pay for an extra year. So I think it's 20 something dollars, if I'm not mistaken. So it comes with 1 year. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back. Um, now I kind of forgot where I left off. Oh, yes. I've been working on something pretty cool, and I want to share it with you guys because I think it's interesting. You know how we're doing this alerts for elderly care and alarm and all this stuff, which is great. I've been working on the local LLM integration with Home Assistant and feeding it data from the Thea devices and prompts for the AI. So there's a local AI that you run on your computer. You need some pretty powerful hardware to run, bigger models, but you can run some small ones on okay hardware. And trying to figure out if it could tell when I came back from a run to monitor. So whenever I come back home, it monitors my temperature with the thermal, trying to see if it could detect when I came back from a run and lower the AC just 1 degree. So you get that blast of cool air after, coming from a run. Not that I run a lot, I'll be honest, okay? But I do like going in the mornings a lot of times, and that would be great. Just get home. The LLM, takes that log, checks it, and is like, oh, when he left, his temperature was around here. Now it's elevated. He probably went on his run. Oh, and it's the morning. He always goes in the morning. Let me blast that AC a little. Let me turn on that fan. And you get that immediate cool down after exercising. So, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of use cases that we haven't even thought about. All right, enough. Enough talk. Let's choose those winners. There's a thing here where we need obviously your shipping information to send you those betas. The betas look like this. This one doesn't have the stuff inside because it's right here on the table. But so I'm gonna send you my email in the chat. Can we put my email on the chat uh, team? Let's put that in the chat so I can, not cut this and start typing. Let's put my email. There we go. There are the two winners. There you go. Perfect. The winners. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this, so forget it. Yeah, yeah. Please send us your information. We will ship it as soon as humanly possible. With the holidays, we got to make sure that we can do that. So there are some caveats here that you need to have in mind. Okay, this is a beta. It is not a full production, hardware. It is two iterations behind. Firmware support is not like great for these things. Our team is focused on the newest and greatest. So just keep that in mind. Okay. um, awesome. Good, good. So yeah, we'll ship it to you, and you'll get it when you get it. If you're in the US, it'll be pretty quick. If you're abroad, uh, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes. I don't know. If you're in Europe, we could send it locally through our hardware dev over there. So yeah, just keep in mind that we always appreciate feedback. Put comments. The people that are getting these betas, understanding that they are betas. We could definitely send you screenshots of what the new firmware looks like and whatnot. And yeah, really appreciate everyone coming out today, and we'll be sure to do another one of these Q&As every now and then, maybe towards the end of the campaign. Tell your friends, any small businesses, etc. And yeah, we really appreciate your help and your time. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. That's my email right there. You can email me, chat, whatever you want. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving if you're here in the U.S., and everyone abroad, have a good weekend in a couple days, I guess. All right. Thank you, everyone.